Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, hey folks, sampler platter video, series of videos I do for the while. I'll go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, it's a little bit shady with the thing and such, but it's better than it being super bright, I think. Anyway, yes, indeed, folks, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out some stuff for you. Super simple format. After I'm done trying stuff, I'm going to yammer on about it. That's what I do. It's the whole thing that I do here. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm in the truck, but I'm also wearing a cool shirt. Folks, when I wear cool shirts, I like to highlight the cool shirt. What cool shirt am I wearing today? Boom, it's my Static X shirt. Specifically, my Get Off This Wisconsin Death Trip part of the shirt. I actually have a few Static X shirts, I think 3. I got this one last year when they performed with Powerman 5000, Mudvayne, and Rob Zombie. That was a great freaking show. Absolutely loved it. Had to get a shirt. Plus, I love Static X. Static X is just a great band. I wasn't like super into them up until more recent-ish years. It was kind of the sad passing of Wayne Static, the lead singer, that sort of prompted me to look more into their stuff, because I liked their stuff, but that was when I started kind of getting more into their discography and everything, and became a bigger fan. And I wish I'd been able to see him while Wayne was still around, but sadly, that's not possible. But obviously, the guy Zero and the rest of the band, they've kept things moving. So it's a little bit controversial. Some people don't agree with it. I personally think it's cool. So anyway, what am I trying for y'all today? What are we doing? Well, we're eating a sub sandwich, folks, because I like eating sub sandwiches, for one. And two, over the past few months, I've gone over there. I've decided to have a sub sandwich expedition, which I did not expect to go as far as it did, because I was originally just doing the chain places, like your Jersey Mike's and your Jimmy John's, what have you. And it just kept going. It turns out that there's just a lot of Italian deli spots around me. So, we're trying something from, let's see if we can get it, boom, from Gambino's, who I've never heard of, though I've actually been to the restaurant that it's directly attached to one time. And what am I trying from Gambino's? Well, boom, it's sandwich, obviously. It has an eye on it, and if you watch my other subs videos, which, by the way, I have an entire playlist called Subs for Subs, which is just my sub sandwich videos, you might guess that I is for Italian, and indeed, that is the case. This is the classic Italian sub, which is salami, capicola, mortadella, ham, provolone, tomato, lettuce, and vinegar and olive oil. For those of you who maybe aren't aware, when I try a sub place, I almost always try their Italian version, because for me, that's the linchpin. You have to get that right. If you get that right, chances are the rest of things are going to be good. So that's always my sandwich to gauge. So let's take a look at this and find out how Gambino's does on their Italian. No, you're not allowed to fall onto the floor. That would not be cool. This is an oily sub, which can be good or bad. Let's try to get a decent, boom, sandwich. Let's try to get a little, can we get a thing? It's not going to be a great thumbnail because of the lighting, but whatever. Yeah, this is an oily sandwich. It's so oily. All right, folks, let's give it a shot. I've yammered for long enough. Yes. Okay. So I mentioned this before. Some of my other Italian sub reviews. When you get an Italian sub just right, all of the elements come together, and for a brief moment while you're eating them, they come together to form a flavor that I can only describe as an Italian sub flavor. Nothing else tastes exactly like it. And when you have everything just right, it coheres, or it becomes a cohesive, coheres? Is that what it becomes a cohesive taste that's just wonderful and delicious, and this has that. So they've made a nice Italian sub sandwich. The bread is good. It's firm, but it's still got give, and it's still going to absorb like the oil and stuff. And despite a fair amount of oil on the outside, it's not an overly oily sandwich. It's like almost a perfect amount. In fact, I could almost do tiny bit more just to give it a little extra bite. But that right there is pretty much exactly what I want out of an Italian sub. It tastes fresh. All the ingredients come through nicely. The tomato gives it a nice little kind of sweet acidity to it. They don't have onions on it, which some places include those as being part of the classic experience. Some places don't. I'm not a big onion guy, so I can take them or leave them. Sometimes I think they work nicely. Sometimes I think they overpower things. So I'm not missing them on this. This is a very solid Italian sub. This, for me, that's damn near exactly what I want when I get an Italian sub. It's meaty. It's a great mix of flavors. With the saltiness of the salami. And then, like I said, you got like the freshness of the veg. The tomato's doing its thing. Bread's really good. It's just the main reason why I like to use it as the gauge for the places I try is because it's simple. There's really nothing to it that's overly flashy or anything. I mean, you can make adjustments to it here or there. You know, some places use mayo, some places, like I said, use onion and stuff. You can do slight variations on it, but there's not a lot of places to hide. If you fuck it up, if the ingredients aren't good, or if the proportions aren't correct, it's going to show through, and it's going to show that, you know, maybe you don't know exactly what you're doing when you're putting together a sandwich. If you can't put together an Italian sandwich, it's hard to say if you'll be able to, you know, doesn't mean that it's, you know, it's not a deal breaker, mind you, but, you know, you can just have a not great Italian sandwich. I think it was Augustino's that I had, their Italian sandwich, and it was okay, but it wasn't standout. This I would say is actually standout. Now, Serino's Deli that I've reviewed on here is still probably my top, but I would be willing to go over there. I would put this up there with, like, if Serino's is in the top tier, and it's kind of, for me, in sort of a classification all its own, I would give Gambino's, I would say, for their Italian sub, they're right underneath it. They're in that second tier spot, and that's not a bad spot to be in. That's some good stuff. This tastes like a proper Italian deli sub, and I'm for it. I'm all for it. I have one more sub to try for them, and I'm really excited. So this has been good so far. Anyway, two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Yes, I would get it again. Yes, I would recommend it. Now, the thing is, if I'm going to go for an Italian sub, like I said, Serino's is still my top. They're a little bit closer to me, so I would probably go there first. But if I was in the area, yeah, I would go over there. I would be willing to, if I wanted a really solid Italian sub, I would go for this. As for recommending it, yeah, I mean, what with it being a more local spot, obviously availability is going to be kind of difficult to, to factor into things. So, but if you do happen to be in the area, it's in Elmhurst, Illinois. If you happen to be in the area, man, give it a shot. There's some really, really great deli spots. And I'm going to say that at least for the Italians so far, so like I said, I got another one to try. I would put Gambino's up there. So, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day. Spectacular rest of the week. Monumental rest of month. Stupendous rest of your folks. You can go over there and have yourselves a truly Italian sub sandwich rest of your life. Because, folks, Italian sub sandwiches, they're wonderful. And I mean, and you don't have to love them. Maybe you don't like them. That's fine. That's fine. But me, I'm a fan. And so if I tell you to have an Italian sub sandwich rest of your life, I do so with love. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, that's not always the easiest thing to do in the world. Even on a day like today, when I get to eat delicious subs, it's really nice out. Even the sun's not being too abrasive. There's still times that things are going to be stressful and frustrating. I had to pay a bunch of bills earlier today. That didn't make me happy. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there, maybe you're going to watch my review of Gambino's Italian sub, as I've done here today. And maybe you're going to be like, that looks like a pretty damn good sub, but what about, the Italian is being represented? What about the Kazakhstani version of the sub? Well, folks, I don't know anything about that. But if you do, you can certainly illuminate me in the comments section. Maybe I can look around, see if I have a Kazakhstani place around me. It's possible. I have a Balkan place and lots of Japanese places, and I got a good variety of stuff. I'm happy about my food area that I live in. But maybe you go over there and you go on to bestow the virtues of the Kazakhstani sub. That's hard to say. And, maybe I go over there, I try it. Maybe it's wonderful. Maybe I go over there and, go to Kazakhstan for whatever reason. I don't know anything about Kazakhstan. I just picked a random place out of my head. But to all the fine folks of Kazakhstan, I'm sure your food is delicious, and maybe one day I'll get to review it. Or conversely, maybe go look around and see if there's any Kazakhstan food places near you and give them a try. Let me know how they are. Bye!